Hi guys, Lenn Woolston here, sci-fi fantasy writer, blogger, and nerd. I'm super excited today because I have the chance to talk to Holly Davis, who is also a writer, and she's going to be talking about what her writing is and who she is as a person, and a little something that you may not know about her. So hi Holly, can you just go ahead and describe who you are and what your work in progress is right now?
Hey guys, I'm Holly Davis. I'm a writer aspiring to be a published author. My goal is to become traditionally published. I am a full-time physical therapist. I'm a fur mom. I'm a wifey-to-be, and I am a dance game player and also an anime nerd. My work in progress is The Celestial Code, which is a YA urban fantasy with space elements about a 16-year-old girl named Luci Baruvi who escapes her stepdad's verbal abuse when she participates in a trial to become a powerful celestial being in a world beyond Pluto.
That sounds amazing. So who are some of your favorite authors who they just inspire you, and why do you look up to these authors?
So of course, other than J.K. Rowling, because her name is kind of a given, one of my first favorite authors that I ever had was D.J. McHale, and he is a middle grade fantasy writer. And I first started reading his Pendragon book series in high school with my friend and my sister, and that series is 10 books long, and so he was like the first author that I followed him through every book as it came out every year, and my sister and friend we would all read it together and talk about it, and like we completely got immersed in his world and just fell in love with his characters and cared about him. So he was my first favorite author that I ever had. But now, some of my favorite authors are Marie Lu, Marissa Meyer, and most recently and affectionately, Victoria or V.E. Schwab. I recently got into the Darker Shade of Magic series like 1 or 2 years ago, and I have just been reading her books ever since. But what all these authors have in common is their awesome character development. Their arcs are amazing, the fast-paced plot and exciting plot that they have, and just their beautiful, wonderful prose. Their descriptions are just amazing, and their writing is something that I want to emulate.
That's awesome. Okay, so outside of writing, I know you do competitive dance, but it's not a typical type of dance. Can you explain more about it, how you started, and what you like most about it?
Yes, so it's interesting that not everyone knows about this dance game that I play, but it's actually a dance arcade game. I first started playing Dance Dance Revolution way back in 2003. I believe that's when it came out. And I first started playing it because I was a chunky little high schooler and I wanted to lose weight. And also it was a form of fun for my sister and I, but pretty much it was just like, this is cardio, but it doesn't feel like exercise. So DDR stands for Dance Dance Revolution, and what this arcade game is that there are 4 arrows up, down, left, and right on a pad on the floor. And then there's an arcade machine with a screen in front of you, and there are arrows that are set to different patterns that are scrolling up on the screen. And when it hits the top, that's when you hit the arrow that's on the pad. So it's pretty much like you're dancing, but not really. So the game that I play is a harder version of DDR, and that's called ITG, or In the Groove for short. But they got phased out, so there's not any new machines being made anymore. But anyways, once I got to college, I found out that there was a DDR rhythm game club. So I joined the club, and from there, that's how I got into ITG. And so there are tournaments every year around the world. There's like a girls only tournament every year that people from all over the world come in, from Australia, Japan, Brazil. We've even had someone from France and England. And next year it's actually going to be in France. So I'm very excited because every year it's been somewhere different in the US. But anyways, this is a way for me to just be involved with a group of people that love one game. And it's kind of similar to writing in a way, where it's just this community that I found online and in real life that we can get together a couple times a year and just show our love for this game. So because there are tournaments, some people are pretty competitive and they want to get first place. I pretty much am just competitive against myself because once you finish a song, you get a score, and I was always just trying to compete against myself and improve my score. But now I continue to play not only for my health, but just because it's fun, because people can make custom songs. So even any sort of random popular modern song you can think of right now, there's probably a song for it.
Now, has this hobby ever found a way into your writing? Like, do you have a character, or was there like a certain dance or anything? Like, has that been a part of your writing at all?
Yes, I actually wrote a DDR fanfic back in high school, and it was about two best friends who enter a DDR tournament, and it follows their journey up until the end. And I had a lot of fun writing it, and I realized that maybe that wasn't really a fanfic. That was like an original fic with like a real thing in it, DDR. So that was just something that I thought of that was interesting. But so far right now, I haven't included it in any of my recent writing, and that's actually something that I should do because I think that would be a lot of fun. Another thing about ITG or DDR that I like is that it's really our sport. Like, it's very, very hard. If you YouTube ITG or In the Groove, like expert songs, like there's some intense people. There's a lot of elements that go into it that is the makings of an athlete. You need timing, you need stamina, and you need foot speed. So it's our sport. But anyway, so my sports that I've included in my novels have usually been either football or lacrosse. So I need to branch out and add DDR back into my stories.
Ha, very cool. So do you think that writers should include their hobbies in their writing? Like, why or why not?
So I'm gonna say yes and no on this one. You definitely want to include your hobbies in your novels because, like they said, like you want to write what you know, which isn't always true, but if there is a topic that you are an expert on, then you want to write about it. Like, I have been playing DDR for over 15 years, which is crazy. So, you know, I am an expert in this, and I won't have to do a lot of research in making it believable in the story. But you also want to branch out because I can't have every character I write play DDR. Like, I would need to branch out, and that's why I have one of my characters in the Celestial Code. She's a lacrosse player. I haven't even seen a lacrosse game before, but it's something that I wanted to include. And when you include things that you don't know and hobbies that you don't know, then you're able to grow and learn from it, and it just makes you a better writer.
Those are some valid points. So what's one book that you think that everyone should read, and like, why should they read that book?
Okay, you guys, so I already warned you that I'm on the Victoria Schwab or V.E. Schwab hype train, but this hype is real. I'm not generating it for no reason. So I am actually going to recommend Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I just finished that a couple weeks ago in time for the sequel Vengeful to come out. I am completely obsessed with the Shades of Magic trilogy, but those books are pretty hefty and can be a little bit intimidating for those of you starting out, especially if you're like always hesitant going into reading new authors. Not new authors, but a new author to you. So, because those books are 400, 500, and 600 pages long. But Vicious is about like 350, so it's a lot more manageable. And I really love that story because I haven't read anything like it before, where there's, you know, these supervillains and there's this kind of gray line between good and evil. So I just love it so much, and Victoria's prose is just, I could just eat it up. So you guys should definitely check out really any of her books, but I say start with Vicious.
I can also verify that, yeah, Victoria Schwab knows what she's doing, and yeah, you should definitely check her out. So Holly, how can people follow you in your writing and what you're doing for the community?
So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Write Holly Davis. Obviously on YouTube is Write Holly Davis as well. And then I also have a website where you can sign up for my newsletter to get freebies and goodies. My freebies are how to write more and how to read more. So go check that out. It's at hollydavisbooks.com.
Awesome. And I will make sure that I link all of Holly's social media down in the description box below so you can go follow her. Holly, thanks so much for being part of this today, and you should definitely go follow her if you aren't already. With that, I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will be doing more of these to show you the types of writers that I love following so that you can expand your horizon and watch these writers, because I'm telling you, their careers are just going to skyrocket. With that, have a great week, and until next video, bye!